Kwam Yasharala. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah. I go by the name of Eleazar from the camp K.O.Y. out here in AZ. Uh, Today is titled, the day lesson is titled, The Church is Yaharahla. The Church is Israel. Okay? We're gonna break this down. You know what I'm saying? Gonna keep y'all too long. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to y'all real, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully you let it sink in. Study to show yourself approved. Give me a minute. Trying to figure some things out real quick. My computer, I was gonna do it on my computer, you feel me? But my computer tripping right now because I'm also be using the blue letter, you know what I'm saying, to break some things down. But I might have to flip my phone that way because they ain't gonna let me just hit a button and turn the camera around. So I might have to flip the button, flip the phone to show y'all, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. Uh, Let me check something out. Give me a minute. Salaki. Let me see. So don't turn around like that, right? You don't see it. Let me see if y'all can see it. No, y'all can't see that. Not that. So if you got the blue letter Bible app, go ahead and hop on that too. Man, it'll work better if I had that. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into it then. The church is Yaharahla. The church is Israel, right? That's the lesson for the day. So we're gonna start off in Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23. And it reads, once again, this is Hebrews chapter 12, verse 23. And it reads, to the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect. Give me a minute. Salaki. Once again, I'm going to read it again for you. This is Hebrew chapter 12, verse 23. To the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect. Right? So I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the blue letter, because the blue letter help you dig into these words a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? A little bit more edification on what you're reading about. So let's go ahead. Hold on, give me a minute. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and click on church, right? Because it says to the general assembly and church of the firstborn. So let's find out what church is, right? I'm gonna go ahead and click it on. I'm on the blue letter, right? So let's go ahead and read it. A gathering of citizens called out from their homes into some public place at an assembly of the people convened at the public place of the council for the purpose of deliberating, the assembly of the Israelites. The assembly of the Israelites. Mm, okay. 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 So once again, that was Hebrews 12:23. To the general assembly and church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect. We just said we just looked at it, and the blue letter told us what, you know what I'm saying, the church is, you feel me, a gathered assembly of the Israelites, right? But it says church of the firstborn. So now we got to find out who the firstborn is, right? So before I even get into that, Salakia, before I even get into that, right, we're going to get to who the firstborn is, all right? So I just want to bring on something else when it comes to the church, so you understand. We just seen it says a gathering, a assembly of the Israelites, right? Church, right? Now, let's go to Acts chapter 7. Acts chapter 7. Chapter 7, verse 37 through 38. So once again, in Hebrews 12:23, the blue letter let us know church is a gathering and an assembly of the Israelites, right? Check this out. Acts chapter 7, verse 37 through 38 reads, this is that Moses, which said unto the children of Israel, a prophet shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren like unto me. Him shall ye hear. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel which spake to him in the Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us. So let me read this. Let me read 38 again. The beginning. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness. So let me ask you a question. When the Hebrews ran to the wilderness, was there a church, a building, like a building in the wilderness already built? Was there a building, a church building in the wilderness when the Israelites went there? Mm. So now we got to go. Now we see what church, the assembly meeting of the Israelites, church, right? That he was in the church in the wilderness. So he was among the church, which is the Israelites. He was among the assembly. He was among the gathering of the church, which is the Israelites. Because we know, now we know that church is a gathering, an assembly, once again, of the Israelites. And in Acts 7:38, this is he that was in the church in the wilderness. We know there wasn't no building built in the wilderness. So what church can he be talking about? Right? And I want to bring up some precepts right now that under, that goes with this church, right? When it comes to the buildings, right? Check me out. So we know there wasn't no church in the wilderness, right? Watch this. Watch this. So we're gonna go to Salakia. We're going to go to Exodus 16:2. Exodus 16:2. Well, oh, no. Okay, all right. Huh? Salaki, give me a minute. Salaki. No, Salaki. Let's go to Matthew 18:20. Salaki. Matthew 18:20. So, once again, let's backstep a little bit. So, we found out what church is, right? The assembly, the gathering of the Israelites. Then we found out he was in the midst of the church. He was in the church, right? In the wilderness. But we know it wasn't no building in the wilderness. It wasn't no man-made building in the wilderness, right? So let's read Matthew 18:20. It reads, "For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them." Let me read that again. "For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst." So once again, let's backstep. We found out church is assembly, a gathering of the Israelites. Then we read that he was in the church in the wilderness, but we know there wasn't no man-made building in the wilderness. So what is church? When two, three, or more Israelites get together, he's there. He's in the midst. We have a church. That's church. Why? Because that's church, right? Now, one more precept for that, right? Because when it's two or three more Israelites, he's among us. We have a church, right? Because in Exodus chapter 16:2, Exodus chapter 16:2 reads, "And the whole congregation," church, congregation, church, congregation, congregation, church. Let's read on. "And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness." Church, congregation, congregation, church. Is it sinking in yet? Is it sinking in yet? Church is when what? When there's a gathering assembly of the Israelites. We know it wasn't no man-made building when we went to the wilderness when he said he was in the church. You know what I'm saying? When we read Acts 7:38, was in that is he that was in the church in the wilderness. We know there wasn't no man-made building in the wilderness. So once again, that means he was among the Israelites when they was gathering, when they had an assembly. You know what I'm saying? So when we read, you know what I'm saying, we just read that, and the whole congregation, Exodus 16:2, and the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. Congregation, church, church, congregation. Is it sinking in yet? Because, and this is my last precept, when it comes to the church thing, right? Because when we read, watch this, that's why we know he wasn't in no building. We wasn't in no building. We're gathering, you know what I'm saying? The Israelites, right? Because when you go to Acts 7, Acts 7, Acts 7, 48 through 49. Acts 7, 48 through 49. All right. So we found out church is a gathering assembly of the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? He was with us in church in the wilderness, but we know it wasn't no building made when we went to the wilderness. He let us know when it's 2 or 3 gathered together, he's there. That's church right there, right? Because in Acts 7, 48 through 49, it reads, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temple made with hands, as said the prophet. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, said the Lord, or what is the place of my rest? So he letting you know he don't even dwell in these buildings made by man's hands. He let us know he's in the midst when it's 2, 3 of us. Then we found out what church is. Assembly, a gathering of the Israelites. Then we heard about the congregation of the Israelites murmuring against Aaron and Moses. Congregation, church, congregation. Let's go. Let's get it right. Check this out. So going back, we got to backtrack a little, right? Because in Hebrews 12:23, and something else I want to bring out. So we just broke down the church thing, right? Hebrews 12:23, it has said, this how we jumped into the church. To the general assembly and church of the firstborn. So now we got to find out who the firstborn is, right? Because it said that to the general assembly and church of the firstborn, right? So let's go ahead and jump to Exodus 4:22. Exodus 4:22. Because once again, in Hebrews 12:23, in the beginning, it said to the general assembly and church. We just broke down the church of the firstborn. So we about to find out who the firstborn is. All right. Exodus 4, chapter 4:22 reads, and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus said the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. Let me read that again. Exodus 4:22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus said the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn. So, back to Hebrews 12:23. To the general assembly and church of the who? Firstborn. Who is the firstborn? Israel. What is church? A gathering, a symbol of the Israelites. Right? Now let me break a little bit. I'm going to dig a little bit into the firstborn. Because firstborn, if you know, are heirs. My fault, Salaka, are heirs. right? So I'm gonna break it down a little bit more. Now, if you got your 1611 King James version, you can pull it up on the internet, or if you got the physical 1611 Bible, we're gonna go to Second Esdras, chapter 6, 58 through 59. Second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 58 through 59. Pulling it up right now. Okay. Second Esdras, chapter 6, 58 through 59. It reads, "But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands. If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?" Because we gotta understand the firstborns are heirs. They have an inheritance, right? But in 58 it says, "But we thy people, whom thy called thy firstborn." So if you didn't catch on to who the firstborn is, let's just see who thy people is. Let's see who thy people is. Let's go back to this blue letter. Let's go to Jeremiah 31:1. Jeremiah 31:1. Let's find out who thy people is. Jeremiah 31:1 reads, "At the same time, said the Lord, will I be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people." Let me read that again. Jeremiah 31:1. "At the same time, said the Lord, will I be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people." I don't see it says of the world, of all nations. It says of all families of Israel, and they shall be my people. Give me a minute. Salaki. Let me read that again. "At the same time, said the Lord, will I be the God of all families of Israel, and they shall be my people." Mm, mm, mm. We digging into who his people is, right? Firstborn, Israel. Israel is the firstborn. Firstborn are heirs, and they have an inheritance. So let's check this out a little bit. I want y'all to rock with me for a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. Check this out. All right. Let's jump to Romans chapter 8. Romans chapter 8, 16 through 17. It reads, this is Romans chapter 8, 16 through 17. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and the joint heirs with Christ. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. Firstborns, heirs, inheritance. Rock with me. Rock with me. Stay with me now. Stay with me now. Rock with me. Watch this. Watch this. Remember that. Heirs. Firstborn. Israel. Rock with me. Let's jump to Deuteronomy 21:17. Rock with me. Rock with me now. Watch this. We understand the firstborn. How they heirs. How they have inheritance. Watch me now. Watch the Most High work. Slugger, don't watch me. Watch the Most High work right now. Catch on. Rock with me. Rock with me. Watch this. Deuteronomy 21:17. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him double portion of all that he had, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. Oh, just rock with me now. Just rock with me. Let me read that again. Deuteronomy 21:17. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn. No matter what, the firstborn is the firstborn. The Most High let us know who the firstborn is, right? By giving him double portion of all that he had, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. Now, just rock with me now. Just rock with me now. Come on now, just rock with me now. Just rock with me. Look, check this. Let's jump to Deuteronomy 32:9. Watch this. We know Israel, right, is the firstborn. Right? Firstborn, heirs, inheritance. We just read in, what was that, Romans 8, 16, 17. The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. And if the children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joint heirs with Christ, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. Right? Now, let's go to Deuteronomy 32:9. Rock with me now. Just rock with me now. We found out, you know what I'm saying, the firstborn, right? He gets a portion. He gets an inheritance. You know, before I even read this one, let me read this off the web right quick, right? Firstborn refers to the right of the firstborn legitimate child to inherit the parent's entire or main estate. It can also refer to the rights and authority of a person. Just wanted to put that out there real quick. All right, we just read Deuteronomy 21:17, where it says, but he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn by giving him double portion of all that he hath. For he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. So now we jump into Deuteronomy 32:9. It reads, for the Lord's portion is his people. We just read in Jeremiah 31:1 who his people is. At the same time, said the Lord, will I be the God of all the families of Israel. Not all the families of the world, not all the families of the nation, all the families of Israel. and they shall be my people. For the Lord's portion is his people's inheritance, portion, heirs. Rock with me now. Rock with me now. Deuteronomy 32:9. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Let me read that again. Deuteronomy 32:9. For the Lord's portion is his people. Jeremiah 31:1 let us know who his people is. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. Listen, Israel. Listen here, family. We got to get back to the Most High. We got to study to show ourselves approved. We have to unlearn to relearn. All right? The church is Yaharahla. The church is Israel. Kwam Yaharahla, Kaha, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah.